6 months. 180 days. That's all it takes to completely transform your life if you're willing to give it everything you've got. People think success takes years. Some think it's a lifetime. But the truth is, success can come faster than you ever imagined when you stop waiting for the right time and start building your own time. 6 months of laser focus, no distractions, no excuses, no breaks from your dream, and you can create a life you don't need a vacation from. You see, most people waste years doing what doesn't matter. They talk about change, they dream about success, they post motivational quotes, but when it's time to act, they hesitate. They're busy scrolling, comparing, waiting, but the clock doesn't stop. The next 6 months are coming whether you're ready or not. The question is, will you let them pass like the last 6, or will you use them to change everything? Because 6 months of relentless effort can put you 5 years ahead in life. 6 months of focus can change everything. That's not just a motivational line. It's a truth that most people overlook because they underestimate what focused time can do. We live in a world that glorifies speed but forgets the power of direction. People are always chasing instant results, wanting success overnight, but true transformation doesn't come from quick wins. It comes from consistent effort, from waking up every day and moving with purpose, even when nobody notices. 6 months might sound short, but when you dedicate those months with absolute focus, intensity, and consistency, you can reshape your entire life. Think about how much time people waste on distractions. Scrolling through social media, watching shows, overthinking, comparing, waiting for motivation. Every minute spent doing that is time stolen from your dreams. Yet, if you were to take that same time and channel it into building something meaningful, imagine the results. 6 months of undivided attention on your goals can turn confusion into clarity, weakness into strength, and dreams into reality. The problem isn't time, the problem is focus. You already have the hours, but you scatter them across things that don't serve you. Once you gather that energy and point it toward one direction, your life begins to shift faster than you ever thought possible. Focus is the secret multiplier of success. Most people fail not because they lack potential, but because they lack concentration. They start a new plan, follow it for a week, then get distracted by the next idea. They spread themselves thin, doing too many things at once, and end up achieving nothing. But those who choose one path, one goal, and give it everything for a defined period, those are the ones who rise. 6 months of focus means cutting off every noise that doesn't align with your purpose. It means waking up and knowing exactly what you're chasing. It means saying no more often to distractions, to people who drain you, to habits that don't serve your future. During those 6 months, you don't live like everyone else. You sacrifice comfort for growth. You stay in while others go out. You work while others rest. You might not see the results immediately, but that's where most people quit, and that's why they never change. You have to trust the process. The first few weeks will test you. The old habits will try to pull you back. The mind will whisper, it's not working. But every day you choose to stay focused, you're building momentum. And momentum is powerful. It turns effort into progress and progress into transformation. 6 months of focus teaches you something deeper about yourself. It reveals your real limits and your hidden strengths. It shows you that success isn't about luck or talent. It's about endurance. When you stay consistent for half a year, you build a level of discipline that lasts a lifetime. You learn how to manage your time, your energy, and your emotions. You stop chasing motivation because you realize that the work itself becomes your drive. You begin to love the grind because you see what it's doing for you. There's a magic that happens when you commit fully to something for 6 months. People will notice your energy change. You'll talk differently, move differently, think differently. The confidence that comes from keeping your promise to yourself is unmatched. Every goal you hit becomes proof that you can go even further. You begin to understand that the same formula, focus, consistency, and discipline, can be applied to every part of life, your career, health, mindset, and relationships. But to reach that transformation, you have to lock in completely. You can't go halfway. You can't say you'll focus for 6 months but keep one foot in distraction. Focus means full immersion. It means organizing your days around your goals, setting priorities, and being intentional with every action. It means being willing to be misunderstood for a while, to distance yourself from the noise, and to live with tunnel vision. In 6 months, you can change your body through consistent fitness and nutrition. You can change your income by learning a skill or starting a side business. You can change your mindset by reading daily, journaling, and working on your mental strength. You can even change your environment by outgrowing people and habits that don't belong in your future. The possibilities are endless, but they all start with one thing: focus. People often say a lot can happen in 6 months, but they forget that it only happens if you make it happen. You are 6 months away from a different life, 6 months away from better habits, better confidence, better results. All it takes is the decision to give your all. The beauty of it is that the time will pass anyway. The question is, will you let those 6 months fade into routine, or will you use them to rewrite your story? Because when you give your full focus to something, time bends in your favor. Progress that once seemed impossible starts to unfold. 6 months of focus can change everything. Not because 6 months is magical, but because focus is. Once you learn how to truly focus, you can achieve more in half a year than most do in 5. You'll look back and realize it wasn't time that you needed. It was commitment. You didn't need more chances. You just needed to stop wasting the ones you had. 6 months from now, your future self will thank you for what you start today. So shut out the noise, fix your eyes on the goal, and give the next 6 months everything you've got. Because when you do, everything, absolutely everything can change. Discipline over motivation, that's where the real difference lies between dreamers and doers. Motivation is fleeting. It's the spark that gets you started, but discipline is the fuel that keeps the fire alive when the excitement fades. Everyone feels motivated at the beginning of a journey. When you start a new goal, the energy feels limitless, the vision looks clear, and you're convinced that nothing can stop you. But after a few days or weeks, the emotion fades. The early rush disappears. The same goal that once felt thrilling now feels heavy. That's where most people quit, because they relied on motivation to carry them. But the ones who win understand that discipline is what carries you through the storms when motivation is nowhere to be found. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early when your body wants to rest. It's staying consistent when no one's watching. It's choosing effort over ease, progress over comfort, and purpose over pleasure. Motivation asks, do I feel like doing this today? Discipline says, it doesn't matter how I feel, I'm doing it anyway. That's the mindset that creates transformation. Because emotions come and go, but habits built from discipline stay. If you look closely at anyone successful, athletes, entrepreneurs, creators, or leaders, you'll notice one thing they all share: discipline. They don't depend on mood, they depend on structure. They have routines, systems, and habits that keep them aligned with their goals. They understand that waiting to feel inspired is the fastest way to fail. The truth is, you won't always feel ready, and that's okay. Success doesn't care how you feel, it only cares what you do. Every day you show up, even when it's hard, you build mental muscle. You're training your mind to obey your goals, not your emotions. Discipline is the silent power that transforms ordinary people into extraordinary ones. It doesn't make noise, it doesn't seek validation. It's built in quiet moments. When you stay late, when you choose study over scrolling, when you work through fatigue, nobody claps for you when you're being disciplined, but later everyone admires your results. That's why discipline is so rare, because it requires delayed gratification. It's the willingness to sacrifice today's comfort for tomorrow's greatness, and most people aren't willing to wait that long. Motivation can start the journey, but discipline finishes it. Without discipline, goals remain dreams, plans remain words, and progress remains potential. Discipline gives you control. It turns chaos into clarity. It teaches you to act according to purpose, not impulse. When you learn discipline, you no longer depend on willpower. Your actions become automatic. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop giving yourself a way out. You simply do what's required, and that's what separates the great from the average. Discipline also builds trust with yourself. Every time you do what you said you would do, you prove to yourself that your word means something. That's self-respect in its purest form. When you tell yourself, I'll wake up early tomorrow, and you actually do it, you reinforce belief. When you promise to stay consistent for 6 months and you keep that promise, you create confidence that no one can take away. The world might doubt you, but you won't, because you know that your actions are stronger than your feelings. There will be days when your mind tells you to rest, when you feel uninspired, when your progress seems invisible. That's when discipline shows its true power. The ability to keep moving when nothing seems to be working is what shapes greatness. Progress doesn't always look like massive leaps forward. Sometimes it's simply showing up again and again and again until results start to show. That repetition builds strength not just in your actions, but in your mindset. Discipline doesn't just help you achieve goals, it transforms who you are. It makes you resilient, patient, and grounded. The beauty of discipline is that it compounds. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. Each disciplined act becomes easier than the last because it rewires your brain to operate differently. Soon, the things that used to feel difficult become normal. Waking up early becomes routine. Working out becomes non-negotiable. Studying or creating daily becomes part of your identity. And when that happens, success stops being something you chase. It becomes something you attract. Many people keep waiting to feel ready. But if you only move when you're motivated, you'll never go far. The truth is, you'll rarely feel ready. Success doesn't require readiness, it requires discipline. The disciplined person wins even on their worst days because they show up regardless. The undisciplined one loses even on their best days because they rely on feelings that vanish with time. So if you want to build a life that lasts, stop chasing motivation. Build systems. Create habits. Set standards for yourself that don't depend on mood. Hold yourself accountable even when no one's watching. Because discipline is freedom. The freedom to live life on your terms, to achieve without excuses, and to succeed without luck. 6 months of unshakable discipline can build a version of you that's unstoppable. You don't need to feel ready, you just need to begin. Do it tired, do it unsure, do it unmotivated. But do it because the person who acts despite their feelings is the one who wins. Small choices create big results. It's one of the most overlooked truths about success because people are always looking for the big breakthrough, the magic moment, the overnight transformation. They want one grand decision that changes everything. But the reality is, greatness isn't built in one day. It's built daily. It's shaped in the small, quiet, ordinary moments that seem insignificant but accumulate into something powerful over time. Every small choice you make is like a seed. At first, it looks like nothing. But given time, consistency, and care, it grows into something extraordinary. Most people underestimate the impact of small actions because they don't see instant results. They go to the gym for a week and see no difference, so they quit. They start saving money and give up because it doesn't look like much. They start reading, learning, improving, but when they don't see visible change immediately, they assume it's not working. What they don't realize is that success is invisible at first. Progress hides in the early stages. It's happening beneath the surface, building strength, forming roots. Every small disciplined action compounds, and one day, the results become too big to ignore. Your life right now is a reflection of the choices you've made repeatedly. The things you do daily, your habits, your thoughts, your priorities, are shaping your future whether you notice it or not. You don't become successful by accident. You build success by design, one small step at a time. When you choose to wake up early instead of sleeping in, when you choose to read instead of scroll, when you choose to work instead of procrastinate, you're laying bricks for your future self. Each choice seems small in the moment, but together, they build the foundation of your success. That's why small choices matter more than big intentions. Everyone says they want to change their life, but few are willing to change their daily routine. Change doesn't come from wanting more, it comes from doing more, from replacing habits that hold you back with habits that push you forward. Every time you choose consistency over comfort, you're building a future version of yourself that's stronger, smarter, and more capable. It's not about doing everything perfectly, it's about doing the right things repeatedly. The compound effect is real. Think of it like interest in a bank account. You don't notice much growth in the beginning, but as time passes, the gains multiply. It's the same with effort. One workout doesn't transform your body, but 100 workouts do. One study session doesn't make you a master, but 6 months of study changes your intelligence. One day of discipline doesn't define your life, but months of it redefine who you are. The difference between successful and unsuccessful people isn't intelligence or talent. It's consistency in the small things. Small choices also reveal your priorities. You can say your goals matter, but your daily actions expose the truth. If your small choices align with your goals, you move forward. If they don't, you stay stuck. Every time you choose short-term pleasure over long-term growth, you delay your progress. But every time you choose discipline over distraction, you build momentum. And momentum is the most powerful force in success. It turns effort into habit and habit into identity. The beautiful thing about small choices is that they're entirely within your control. You can't control every event in life, but you can control how you respond, what you focus on, and what you do next. You can decide to give your best even when it's inconvenient. You can decide to show up when no one expects you to. Those decisions compound. They build resilience, confidence, and self-belief. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the small choices you made when no one was watching created the life everyone admires. But this also works the other way. Small bad choices, skipping workouts, procrastinating, giving into excuses, also compound. Failure doesn't happen overnight either. It's built slowly through repeated neglect. That's why awareness is key. Every small decision matters because every small decision moves you closer to success or further from it. There's no neutral ground. Every "I'll do it tomorrow" adds up. It's just one day adds up. Before you know it, you've built habits that either empower you or destroy you. The truth is, success doesn't demand perfection, it demands persistence. You don't have to do everything right every day, but you do have to keep showing up. Small wins matter. Doing 1% better today might not feel like much, but over time, it transforms your life. That's how greatness is built, quietly, steadily, consistently. The most powerful transformations often begin with the smallest steps. So stop waiting for the big opportunity. Stop waiting for motivation, luck, or the perfect timing. Start where you are. Take one step, then another. Focus on what you can do today, not on how far you have to go. The small choices you make in the next 6 months will define the person you become. Every time you choose effort over ease, you're rewriting your story. Every time you choose to keep going, you're separating yourself from the crowd. Remember, mountains are climbed one step at a time. Success is built one choice at a time. It's the little things done right, consistently, that create the big results everyone dreams about. 6 months of smart, disciplined, focused small choices can take you further than years of wishing and waiting. The big wins will come, but they'll only come because you honored the small ones first. Silence, sacrifice, and consistency build greatness. It's the trio that separates those who talk about success from those who live it. In a world that glorifies noise, where everyone wants to show their progress, prove their worth, and get instant validation, true greatness grows in quiet. The loudest people are rarely the most successful. The ones who move in silence are. Because when you're really working, when you're truly locked in, you don't have time to announce every step. You're too busy building. Silence isn't weakness, it's focus. It's the decision to let your actions speak louder than your words, to stop explaining your plans and start executing them. There's a reason every great story starts with a season of isolation. Growth requires silence, because silence gives you space to listen to your goals, your instincts, your potential. When you remove distractions and noise, you can finally hear what matters. The world loves attention, but attention can destroy focus. Every minute you spend trying to prove something to others is a minute taken away from improving yourself. The ones who truly rise are those who can go unseen for a while. They disappear into the work, build quietly, and when they return, the results speak for them. The success becomes so loud that silence was worth it. But silence alone isn't enough. Greatness also demands sacrifice. Every level of success comes with a price tag, and that price is paid in comfort, leisure, and familiarity. You can't build something extraordinary while living an ordinary routine. You'll have to say no to things others enjoy. You'll have to miss out on events, turn down invitations, and spend nights grinding while everyone else relaxes. That's what sacrifice looks like. It's not glamorous. It's lonely, tiring, and sometimes painful. But every sacrifice carries power because it's proof of how much your dream means to you. The world might not understand why you're so serious, why you're so focused, but that's okay. They don't need to understand. They'll see it when you make it. Sacrifice teaches you who you are. It forces you to confront your limits, your excuses, your weaknesses. It demands discipline when it's easier to give in. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you're building a version of yourself that can handle success when it comes. Because success without struggle collapses easily. The sacrifices you make today become the strength that holds your future. You can't skip this part. No one can. Every champion, every visionary, every leader has paid this price. Then comes consistency, the hardest part of all. Silence and sacrifice might get you started, but consistency keeps you going. It's easy to work hard for a week or a month. It's easy to be dedicated when the goal feels new and exciting. But the real challenge begins when the excitement fades, when you're tired, when the results don't show, and the process feels endless. That's where consistency becomes your superpower. Because the truth is, greatness isn't about intensity, it's about persistence. Anyone can give their best once in a while, but the greats do it every day, even when it's hard, even when no one claps for them. Consistency is what builds momentum. It turns effort into identity. Every time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you reinforce the belief that you're capable, that you're committed, that you're in control. It's not about doing everything perfectly, it's about never stopping. Every day you stay consistent, you inch closer to your goals, and one day you'll wake up and realize that what once felt impossible is now part of your reality. That's the magic of staying steady through the storm. Greatness is never born overnight. It's crafted through countless silent nights of work, countless sacrifices that no one sees, and countless repetitions of consistent effort. The world only sees the success, the cars, the money, the recognition, but it never sees the lonely grind that built it. It doesn't see the doubts, the failures, or the moments you almost quit. But that's the beauty of it. The struggle adds value to the success. The silence adds depth to the story. The sacrifice adds weight to the achievement. When you move in silence, you conserve energy. When you sacrifice, you strengthen your purpose. When you stay consistent, you guarantee your progress. Those three elements together form an unbreakable formula for greatness. You don't need applause, you don't need validation, you just need to stay committed to your vision. 6 months of silence, sacrifice, and consistency can elevate you beyond anything you've known. People will wonder how you did it. They'll think it happened suddenly. But you'll know it didn't happen overnight. It happened quietly through the choices you made when no one was watching. You chose to build instead of boast. You chose to sacrifice instead of settle. You chose to show up instead of sleep in. The truth is, the world doesn't reward noise. It rewards results. So stop announcing and start advancing. Stop proving and start producing. Use silence as your strategy, sacrifice as your investment, and consistency as your weapon. Let your success make the noise when it's ready. Because once it does, it'll be so loud that the world won't be able to ignore you. That's how greatness is built, silently, painfully, and consistently until it becomes undeniable. Failure is part of the process. It's not the end of your journey. It's the beginning of your growth. The problem is that most people see failure as a dead end, as a sign that they're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. But the truth is, failure is simply feedback. It's life showing you what needs to change, what needs to improve, and what's not working yet. No one becomes successful without failing, and no one fails without learning something valuable. The only people who never fail are the ones who never try, and that's the real failure. Choosing comfort over growth, fear over effort, and safety over progress. Every person who has achieved greatness has walked through the fire of failure. The difference is that they didn't stop there. They used it. They learned from it. They understood that failure wasn't there to break them. It was there to build them. When you fail, it's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of your current strategy. It means something didn't work, not that you don't work. Failure doesn't define who you are. It refines who you are. It sharpens your mindset, toughens your spirit, and teaches you lessons success never could. Think about it. Every setback, every disappointment, every loss you faced has given you something that comfort never could: resilience. When you fail, you learn to endure. You learn how to stand back up, how to adapt, how to push forward with more wisdom and less ego. Failure strips away illusion and forces you to face reality. It exposes your weaknesses, but it also reveals your strength. It shows you that you can survive disappointment, that you can handle pain, that you can rebuild from nothing. That realization is priceless. Because once you know you can handle failure, nothing can truly stop you anymore. The reason failure hurts is because it challenges the image we have of ourselves. We want to believe we're ready, that our first try will be perfect, that the world will reward our effort immediately. But life doesn't work that way. The path to success is full of mistakes, rejections, and wrong turns. Each one is necessary. Without them, you'd never grow. You can't develop strength and comfort. You can't master a skill without struggle. You can't understand success without first understanding what it feels like to lose. Failure is not a curse. It's the price of progress. Most people give up too early. They fail once, feel embarrassed, and decide it's not meant for them. But that's where the winners separate themselves. Winners fail, but they don't quit. They analyze what went wrong, they make adjustments, and they try again. Every attempt gets them closer. Every mistake teaches them something new. Failure becomes their greatest teacher. The truth is, success isn't a straight line. It's a messy journey filled with highs and lows, lessons and setbacks. The key is to keep walking. You have to stop fearing failure and start respecting it. Failure isn't there to stop you, it's there to prepare you. It's the universe's way of testing how badly you want something. When you fail and still get up, you're proving your commitment. You're showing that you're not just chasing success for the glory, but for the growth. Because every time you rise after falling, you become stronger than before. Failure is like the gym for your mind. It breaks you down just enough to rebuild you stronger. People often hide their failures, but the truth is, failure gives your story meaning. Nobody is inspired by perfection. People are inspired by perseverance. When others see that you failed but refuse to give up, that's when they respect you. That's when you inspire them. Failure gives depth to your success. It makes your victory real. Without failure, your achievements wouldn't feel earned. They'd feel accidental. The most dangerous mindset you can have is trying to avoid failure at all costs. That fear paralyzes you. It keeps you stuck in your comfort zone where nothing ever grows. Failure might hurt in the short term, but regret hurts forever. The pain of failure fades with time, but the pain of never trying stays with you. You can recover from failure, but you can't recover from a life half lived. So when you fail, don't break down, break through. Look at it, learn from it, and move on with more clarity. Every failure carries information. Maybe your timing was off, maybe your strategy was wrong, or maybe you weren't ready yet. Whatever the reason, the experience has given you the tools to do better next time. And if you keep learning, keep adjusting, and keep moving, success becomes inevitable. Failure builds character. It humbles you. It reminds you that success must be earned, not handed. It forces you to respect the process. The people who succeed the fastest are the ones who fail the most because they understand that failure is just part of the journey. They don't fear it, they use it, they let it refine them. You must remember, every failure is a sign that you're trying, that you're growing, that you're alive. You can't evolve without mistakes. You can't become great without falling first. The goal isn't to avoid failure, it's to fail forward, to learn, to improve, and to rise stronger each time. The road to success is built with bricks of failure, and each one you lay takes you closer to your goal. So embrace it. Don't hide from it. Don't let it define you. Let it teach you, guide you, and harden you. Because one day when you finally make it, you'll realize that failure wasn't your enemy. It was your greatest ally. It didn't stop you. It shaped you. And that's what makes your success truly meaningful. Your next 6 months. Define your future. It sounds simple, but that sentence holds the power to completely reshape your life if you truly understand it. 6 months might not seem like much, but it's enough to build an entirely new version of yourself. It's enough to separate the person you are from the person you could become. The truth is, every single day you live is writing the next chapter of your story, and what you do in the next 6 months will decide whether that story is about growth or regret. Time doesn't stop for anyone. It doesn't slow down because you're unsure, unmotivated, or scared. It keeps moving, and if you don't move with it, you'll get left behind. 6 months from now, you'll either be proud of the changes you made or wishing you had started today. Think about it. Every transformation you've ever admired started small. A decision, a moment, a spark of commitment that turned into something life-changing. 6 months of focused effort can achieve what years of half-hearted attempts never could. It's not about having everything figured out. It's about committing to the process, trusting the grind, and showing up every day no matter how you feel. The future doesn't belong to those who dream about it. It belongs to those who build it one consistent day at a time. If you dedicate yourself completely for the next 6 months, with focus, with purpose, with no excuses, your life can look unrecognizable by the time you're done. But here's the hard truth. Most people will never see that transformation because they never give themselves the chance. They keep restarting every week. They keep breaking their promises to themselves. They keep waiting for the right time. The right time doesn't exist. The only right time is now. You can't control what happened before this moment, but you have full control over what you do from this moment forward. The next 6 months are an opportunity, not just to achieve goals, but to reinvent who you are. If you show up every day with the intention to grow, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when no one is watching, those small efforts will compound into something extraordinary. It's not going to be easy. The next 6 months will test you. You'll face distractions, laziness, doubt, and fear. There will be days when you feel like giving up, when you question whether all this effort is worth it. But those are the days that matter the most. That's when you're building the foundation of your future self. The real battle isn't outside, it's inside your mind. If you can conquer your excuses, your comfort zone, and your fear of failure, you'll become unstoppable. Because once your mindset shifts, everything else follows. Imagine this: 6 months of waking up with purpose, 6 months of consistent workouts, focused learning, disciplined work, and clear vision. You'd be sharper, stronger, wiser, and more confident. You'd start to feel momentum, that unstoppable force that makes progress addictive. But you only reach that stage when you've pushed through the early resistance. It's not about doing everything perfectly, it's about doing something consistently. Progress doesn't demand perfection, it demands persistence. The next 6 months can be a season of transformation or another cycle of procrastination, and the choice is entirely yours. Most people waste months scrolling, doubting, or talking about what they'll do someday. But the truth is, someday is a lie. 6 months from now, you'll either be living the results of your discipline or the consequences of your delay. You decide which one it will be. Every day you delay, you push your goals further away. But every day you take action, you pull them closer. You have to treat these next 6 months like your life depends on them, because in many ways, it does. Who you become in the next half year will set the tone for the rest of your life. If you can build strong habits, resilience, and self-control now, everything you do after will be easier. You'll carry that discipline into your relationships, your career, your dreams, and your mindset. But if you waste these 6 months doing the same things that kept you stuck, you'll be standing in the same place 6 months later. Maybe even worse, because you'll realize you've lost something you can never get back: time. Time is the most valuable currency you have. Every day that passes is a piece of your life you can't reclaim. That's why the next 6 months are critical, because they represent what you choose to prioritize, who you choose to become, and how much you truly believe in your own potential. If you knew how powerful consistency was, you'd never waste another day. 6 months can seem long when you start, but it passes faster than you think. The days will blur, the weeks will rush by, and before you know it, you'll look back wondering how much more you could have done if you'd stayed committed. But imagine instead looking back with pride, knowing you gave it everything, knowing you didn't waste time, knowing you became the person you said you'd be. That pride is worth every ounce of effort. So decide right now, the next 6 months are yours. Lock in. Cut out the distractions, silence the noise, and focus on what truly matters. Treat every day like a building block of your dream. You don't need motivation every day. You just need to remember why you started. Because if you can give 6 months of your life to your growth, your goals, your purpose, 6 months of relentless consistency, you won't just reach your next level. You'll redefine what's possible for you. The next 6 months aren't just a time frame, they're a turning point. And if you give them everything, they'll give you everything back.